Drawing scientific diagrams part 2. So this is the last video looking at drawing scientific diagrams. So from the previous video we looked at drawing diagrams of different lab equipment that you experience and work with in a typical science lab. The key here is to use a pencil and ruler. Okay, it makes things neater, and if you make a mistake it's easy to fix. So let's continue on. This thing here on the left, this is called a round bottom flask. This thing's used for heating stuff, boiling things, and so on. But its job is to basically hold liquids. And so here's how you draw it. Okay, looking at it side on, you've got two spouts there. So it's open like that. And then, because it's a round bottom, you give it a round bottom. Like this. Okay, so it's got a neck and a round bottom. Like I said before, your diagram's going to be better than mine, hopefully. So here, for these straight lines, use a ruler, obviously. And here, let's try to do the best you can with using your pencil. This is called a round bottom flask. And once again, you can just pause the video now to draw it. And then we can move on. Next equipment is, this piece of equipment is called a filter funnel. So if you had like filter paper inside of here, you can filter out dirty liquids like water. And if you notice with the filter funnel here, one of the ends is longer than the other end, right? And the way you draw it is like this. So because it's open at the top, we'll use a line going like that. And then straight down, remember one of the sides is longer, so extend out one of the sides like that, okay? And that's a filter funnel. Just think of filtered water. Okay, it's water that's free of any impurities, things like dirt and bacteria. Next up, this is called a crucible with a lid. Crucibles are used, they're basically heat resistant containers. They're very good at melting, burning materials at very high temperatures. And the way you draw it is like this. So, because it's going out like that, here's how we trace it out, like that. And the lid goes like this. Okay, it's slightly going down on the sides. And that's the lid there. Okay, and that's your crucible and lid. Okay, it's used to heat things to very high temperatures. It's basically made of a ceramic material. Next up, this is called a pipe clay triangle because it's made of clay. Okay, it's a triangle. It's got steel mesh coming out of it, okay, like wire. Now, if you look at it side on, it's going to look like this. Okay, like a rectangle, because each of these pieces of clay is a rectangle, and the wire sticks out like that, quite simply. So that's a pipe clay triangle. And these things are used to hold things like crucibles and lids on top, okay? So let's say you've got a tripod beneath that and a gauze mat on top, okay? The crucible sits on top. Sorry, the pipe clay triangle sits on top of the gauze mat, and the crucible sits on top of the pipe clay triangle, okay? And once again, it's good at very high temperatures, doesn't melt, so that's why they use clay. Next up, it's a glass stirring rod. As the name suggests, it's used to stir liquids. And the way you draw it quite simply is just like this. It's like a tube. Okay, it's round on the sides, like that. Okay, glass stirring rod. Used to stir liquids. Okay, glass is good at stirring liquids at high temperatures. Doesn't really melt. That's why they use glass and not plastic. And then lucky last, this here. This is called a watch glass. A watch glass is a glass disc, and it's used to evaporate things like liquids and also to hold things like solids, like powders. It's quite simply literally a disc, so the way you draw it is like this. Okay, not too deep, not too shallow. Okay, and it's much more shallower than, let's say, an evaporating basin. An evaporating basin from before, if you remember, looks like that, okay? Watch glass is a lot less shallow, a lot less deep, I should say. And so that's it. I've covered all the scientific equipment used in a typical science lab. Okay, that's necessary for Year 7 science. I don't think I've missed anything in this video. If I have, I'll make an additional video, but for now, those those equipment are what are typically used in a lab.